All right, so earlier before the show, Ben Darnell and myself were able to catch up with the new CEO of the Hartford Athletic. His name is Nick Sakiewicz, and he was wonderful. And we were talking to him about a lot of stuff. You're going to enjoy this. And I started off the conversation by saying, listen, do they post CEO jobs out there? I mean, I know he's been CEO of a bunch of other jobs, including the Arizona Coyotes. And so I asked him, did they post the job for CEO? How do you get the CEO job?
No, I don't, like, at this stage of my career, I don't need jobs. 33 plus years in the business. But I do look for projects. And a friend of mine who was doing the search for the owner, Bruce Mandel, called me and wanted to tap into my network. He said, do you know anybody? And I founded this company, Global Football Group, back in 2015 with a Manchester United coach. And we've been really having a lot of success. And I was leaving the Coyotes anyway to expand Global Football Group. And so my friend called me up and said, we're doing a search for the CEO position. And I had a few candidates for him. But then I started thinking, like, Hartford's a really great market. It's a great catchment area for soccer. So I started to take a close look at the club, and I saw this incredibly vibrant fan base. Not such a good team on the field, but that's always fixable. But the fan base was amazing, and I got invited by Bruce to come up and visit the club. And I really saw a lot of ingredients here for great success in player ID development and what Global Football Group does. So long story short, I was like, hey, I'm looking to really expand our soccer presence, and Hartford's a fantastic catchment area and a really great market to be in. And I kind of know it because I went to school in New England and have recruited and signed a lot of players out of New England over the years during my MLS days. And long story short, I pitched Bruce on the idea of getting together and me coming in here and bringing my experience and background and building stadiums and building soccer clubs, and he bought into it. So here we are.
I think it's perfect. I really do. Nick Sakiewicz, you got to the Coyotes that you mentioned are the Arizona Coyotes, where you're the chief business officer for them. You come from really the National Lacrosse League as well. You were the commissioner there for 6 years. You're talking about building soccer programs. You're exec of the year for Tampa Bay back when they were known as the Mutiny, now the Rowdies, who are coming to town tomorrow to take on the Hartford Athletic. You've been through New York soccer scene. You were head exec there. I got to say this, and I know my producer's going to get mad at this one too, but there are obvious dots here, sir. And I know you know this. I know you know that the colors of our minor league teams are blue and green for a reason. And our old hockey team, which is all near and dear to all of our hearts in downtown Hartford, the Whale, is still celebrated whenever we score a goal for the Hartford Athletic. The Brass Bonanza plays. Now, you mentioned the Arizona Coyotes, and we know the situation they're in. It's been a topic of discussion here around the XL Center and all sports. Bringing the Whale back. Put this to bed or give us some hope. Are you coming here to bring the Whale back or not?
No.
Oh, thank God, Nick. Thank God, because I'm an ex-season ticket holder with the Whalers. So, thank you.
I'm all about the soccer. Yeah. I just took an 8-year break away. I was 21 years in MLS, and I needed a break. So I did the lacrosse thing for 6. That was a lot of fun. Got into hockey in Arizona by accident because they needed to build an arena. That team's not leaving Arizona. Phoenix is the 5th biggest population market in the country now. So, but you never know. Maybe expansion someday. But I'm not in hockey anymore. I'm in soccer full time. Again, back in American soccer. So.
Nick, so you're the CEO of the Hartford Athletic. Can we take it that you might build up this stadium or build a new stadium for them to play in?
I listen, I think it's a great location. It's a great place to be. It fills up, like, where we have 3 games left, and 2 of them are almost sold out. Tomorrow night we've got about 800 tickets left. But, ideally we need 10,000 seats. Love to put some roof structures on it because it's New England for a reason. It rains a lot here, so I'd love to put some roof structures on it. Love to add some premium seating, some club seats, maybe some more suites. So I have a penchant. I built Red Bull Arena. I built the Philadelphia Union Stadium, which is called Subaru Park. And I love building stadiums, so why not? Why not expand it? Eventually we're going to need more seats sooner rather than later, probably. So I think that's part of the plan of ownership and should be plan of the city because soccer is the next big thing. It is coming big and it's coming hard. World Cup, big tournaments, Major League Soccer is exploding. The United Soccer Leagues are exploding. I mean, soccer, the women's game is exploding. We'd love to bring a women's team someday to Hartford. That would be exciting. So soccer is the next big thing here. And the next decade, I truly believe one of the reasons I got back into American soccer really is because the next 10 years are going to be more dynamic for the sport's growth than the last 40 years.
The other reason I think you're absolutely perfect for coming in here and doing this, I want people to know you're not just some hotshot sports CEO from afar that's coming to our community to try to change things. You're native. You are a New Haven grad. You played soccer down there in the good of times in the 80s. You know all about New England, and you even bring up, the weather around here. How much did that play into your decision of, we say welcome to Hartford, welcome to the team, but we really should say welcome back?
Well, I'm familiar. Familiarity also. When you look at things that you're comfortable with, I know the area. And even when I left to play and then got into the management ranks, signed a lot of players over the years out of the New England market, all throughout, and just have always had roots back here, had friends back here. I mean, whether it was, the launch of the league in '96 when we played the first championship game at Foxborough, we knew it well. I worked with the Crafts very closely building Major League Soccer, so there's familiarity there. Brian Biello, their president, is someone I worked with over 21 years in MLS. So, familiarity makes things a little bit more comfortable. That doesn't mean I'm going to kick back and relax here. I'm a penchant for building big projects and doing epic things, and we're not just going to sit around. We're going to get some stuff done here and bring Hartford Athletic to the forefront and get it some notoriety and bring really good players here and hopefully expand the stadium a bit more and make this team more relevant than it already is. It's already got a pretty good start just after being around for 5 years, and I think there's huge opportunity here, and we're going to work really hard to make the community proud.
Talking to Hartford Athletic CEO Nick Sakiewicz, and you brought up, building things up. I would cut back here about 10 years ago from L.A., and people were downplaying the Hartford Yard Goats and then building a stadium, that it would never happen. And they've been very successful since building that stadium. Obviously, you got a few roadblocks, and we'd love to help you any way we can in getting the word out there and stuff like that. As far as on the field, we've watched this team kind of, get a little bit,
They're bad right now, Nick.
They're not good right now. But one of the problems that we've seen is that they keep turning over, head coaches. It's like every 6 months, it's a new head coach, new kid. So, are you coming in here to kind of give them a little bit more of a foundation to say, listen, we need to have more stability here within the organization?
My first words of advice to the ownership was you can't get any traction with staff, whether it's a head coach or a head of sales and marketing or a CEO. You need stability. So when you have that much turnover, you just got to look at who you're hiring, and you have to hire right. You have to provide support to those people. And you're not going to get every hire right. Clearly sometimes you make mistakes, but 6 coaches in 5 years isn't going to cut it. And it was my immediate advice to the ownership here that, we need sustainability. So first we have to hire right. That's numero uno. Crap in, crap out. Good quality in, you're going to create something good. A lot of people don't realize, one of my biggest idols and mentors throughout my career is Alex Ferguson, the greatest club soccer coach in the history of the world's game. And he was almost fired after his second year in charge of Manchester United. And someone decided not to fire him. And so that was a pivotal decision. And they kept him, and he turned out to be the most successful club coach in the history of club soccer. And so you need to have that sustainability. You're spot on in identifying that, guys, and tells me you know a little bit about sports and soccer, which is great. We need sustainability, not just in the head coach position, but in playing positions and in back office operations. Because when you give people that stability and that ability to get their sea legs and really get cranking, so to speak, on their work, you generally get more success that way.
The one thing that has been completely stable for the Hartford Athletic since day one has been the support groups. The athletic supporters, as we like to call them, aka the jocks, those groups of people are there, rain or shine, win or lose. It is a crazy bunch of people. I don't know if they briefed you on that coming in, but I really do think that the fan base for the Hartford Athletic is second to none around the USL and in the whole league.
I agree with you. That's what really got me interested in coming here. I came to a game in the summer and couldn't believe how much licensed merchandise every fan was wearing and how committed they were and invested. And that core group needs to be rewarded. And we're going to work our butts off every day to make sure the fan experience gets better. They deserve it, not just in the stands, because it's all pretty good in the stands, but it can get better with more, improved stadium for sure, but also on the field. The fans deserve a group of players that plays their brand. One of the first things we've done, I'm 2 weeks on the job, and we've immediately identified what is a Hartford Athletic player supposed to look like. Because I'm not sure anyone could point to the current group of players and say that's a Hartford Athletic player. So we've created a whole list of criteria that if a player doesn't fit that criteria, he just can't be a Hartford Athletic player. So we're starting really, really at a high level, and we're going to drill down, and we're going to bring in players that the fans can be proud of, and they'll produce performances that the fans could be proud of. No guarantees. You can never guarantee, but we're sure going to work really hard at it.
Nick, we're lucky to have you, man. You sound like you're really interested in building this up, and we're on board with you. So thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it, and it's great to talk to guys who know the game. Appreciate it.